What's up, everyone? Welcome to the May 28th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code Awesemo when you sign up and make a deposit at PrizePicks. You'll receive one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on that first deposit. We have an 8-game MLB slate on FanDuel tonight. Kind of weird. Starts at 4. Doesn't include the last games of the night. Not really sure why they did that, but makes things different. As usual, though, we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers on FanDuel, starting with the top 3 stacks. Number 3, the Cincinnati Reds taking on Alex Wood tonight. 3% projected ownership, 5% chance of being the top scoring stack, 8% chance of being the top value stack. Wood's a solid pitcher, 23.2% strikeout percentage, 3.15 xFIP this year, and Cincinnati's a slightly below average offense with a 94 WRC+, but they are in a favorable hitter's park, and they aren't getting much ownership tonight against Wood. Number 2, the Atlanta Braves, 3% projected ownership, 5% chance of being the top scoring stack, 1% chance of being the top value stack. Difficult matchup tonight against Sandy Alcantara, but they do have a 4.7 implied run total, and Alcantara has gone back to not striking out a lot of guys this year. 20.8% strikeout percentage, 4.1 xFIP. The Braves have a 103 WRC plus and a 174 ISO this year. They do strike out a lot, but as mentioned, Alcantara hasn't really been good at getting strikeouts so far this year. Certainly could change tonight, but there's a lot of upside in this Braves lineup. And number 1, the New York Mets, 3% projected ownership, 5% chance of being the top scoring stack, 3% chance of being the top value stack. They've been one of the best offenses in baseball this year with a 120 WRC+. They're taking on Zach Eflin, who has been a solid pitcher, 23% strikeout percentage and 3.3 xFIP for Eflin, but the Mets aren't getting much ownership, and they certainly have plenty of upside in this lineup. Looking at the top 3 tournament pitchers, number 3 is Zach Eflin, 8,900 price tag taking on those Mets. As mentioned, very difficult matchup. The Mets have a 120 WRC+. They've also only struck out 19.8% of the time, but Eflin is one of the more talented pitchers on a weak pitching slate today. 23% strikeout percentage, 5% projected ownership, 6% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. Number 2, Johnny Cueto, $9,600 taking on the Chicago Cubs. Cueto is projected to be one of the most popular pitchers on DraftKings at a cheap price tag, but at the more expensive price tag on FanDuel, he's only projected for 7% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. I don't know what to make of Cueto. He's probably not very good moving forward, but through his first 2 starts this year, he has struck out 26% of hitters with a 3.31 xFIP. And the Cubs, while they have been above average offensively with a 108 WRC+, they also have an elevated 24.8% strikeout percentage. And number 1, Sandy Alcantara in that matchup against the Braves, $10,400 price tag, projected for 4% ownership with a 9% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. I mentioned that he hasn't been striking out a lot of hitters so far this year, only 20.8%, but he does have really good stuff. And now he's taking on a Braves team that has a 26.8% strikeout percentage so far this year. It really wouldn't be surprising if you see Alcantara just strike out hitters at a higher rate in this matchup. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks on tonight's FanDuel slate: number 3, the Cincinnati Reds; number 2, the Atlanta Braves; and number 1, the New York Mets. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Zach Eflin; number 2, Johnny Cueto; and number 1, Sandy Alcantara.